Thank you. And it's now my pleasure to introduce Milwaukee's 4th District Alderman, Robert Bauman, for Creational Trails West Wisconsin Avenue. And you won't find anybody more passionate about our downtown.
Thank you, Julian. Good morning, everyone. I'm basically here. I'm visiting Alderwoman Cogg's district, but I'm here to basically speak about a portion of this grant which will go to a project on West Wisconsin Avenue. We've made tremendous progress in downtown Milwaukee. A couple of years ago, we finished up a major streetscaping program, about a $25 million federal, state, and city initiative to improve the infrastructure and improve the built environment along Wisconsin Avenue, and this project will simply build upon that initiative. West Wisconsin Avenue is really a dynamic and vibrant area. I was down there last night. I was at the Art Jamboree that Art Milwaukee was sponsoring at the shops at Grand Avenue. I was at the Cuban Festival on Milwaukee Street, and I'll tell you, downtown was as vibrant as I've seen it, including West Wisconsin Avenue, where there was a tremendous amount of people visiting the city, many from out of town, graduations this weekend, other events going on in the city, and it was really a dynamic, vibrant area. West Wisconsin Avenue is already in great shape. This particular initiative is just going to build upon that success. And I was talking to someone earlier who works for the Greater Milwaukee Committee, lives 3 doors away at the Majestic Lofts, is able to walk to work in a short walk. That's the kind of density, that's the kind of commitment to the city that we're trying to promote. Residential development, retail and commercial development, improved public transit infrastructure, and now the addition of art as a tremendous amenity which will improve the experience that folks both living, working, and playing downtown will enjoy. So again, thanks to Art Place America. We really appreciate this investment and confidence in our city and look forward to what all the great artists are going to do for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Bowman. And I should also mention Alderman Nick Kovac had hoped to be here today. He's got a library board meeting. Oh, he's here. Thank you. Great. He made it. Great. Do you want to say something?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm very happy to be here. It's been a pleasure working with Alderwoman Coggs. I've known her since we both went to Riverside High School. Our districts share a very large border all along what used to be Holton. We've now moved it to Pierce and along Keefe. So even though this entire project and the Riverworks bid, most of it is in her district, I think we're working together on it very hard. And it really started, this is all, you can see the rail tracks are still here. This is the old beer line. This used to move beer and many other things all around the city. It's a great industrial road. And if you follow this on your bike or on foot, you'll have to stop for a second and navigate around the Altera. But then it pretty much goes straight to Gordon Park and then straight along the river where there's a bike path that connects you all the way to the old dam, which is now a pedestrian and bike bridge to some of the mountain biking and walking trails along the river. So we've got dams turning into bridges, and we've got industrial rail corridors turning into parks and bike trails and venues for artistic exploration. And hopefully what that will do is make more and more people from my district, from Alderwoman Cogg's district, even from Alderman Bauman's district, from across the city, come and explore this, what used to be leftover space, but I think will soon start to feel like the center of the city. So we're very excited at all of this collaboration and very happy to be here.
That was great timing. So I'd really like to thank all the older people for their support. I'd now like to introduce Keith Hayes, the founder of Be in Tween and the ARTery project. He started actually working on this project when he was an architectural student, and we became aware of the project actually through Art Milwaukee as we were talking about going for this grant, and it was a very exciting project, and it really encapsulated a lot of what we see as the basis of creative placemaking. So, Keith.
Thank you, Julia. My name is Keith Hayes. I'm a resident of River West and founder of Be in Tween. Be in Tween is a social and spatial network improvising areas in the city to build community. We're interested in leftover place and leftover time and the latent potential in these spaces within our city but also within our lives. Be in Tween is physically engaging forlorn or overlooked areas in the city while also identifying their significance. We apply this same model to those in between jobs, relationships, or even homes. By combining these voids, Be in Tween is manufacturing creativity through social constructivism in Milwaukee. Becoming cooperative allows our organization to make art do work. We are making and we are doing. The shared experience is art working. Together we become a part of the art. This piece in front of me was created after having traversed the 2.4 miles of this abandoned rail and engaging in conversations with neighbors along the way. It employs collage to represent what was collected. It is a product of experience, but is this art? Wikipedia defines art as a range of human activities and the products of those activities. Tween is most interested in the diversity of human activity as art, and the urban fabric as its canvas. Tween believes this art is real and that this art is fact. Tween and its partners at Riverworks and the City of Milwaukee will work within the community to create a new linear park along this rail corridor, to not only extend the Beer Line Trail, but incorporate acres of edible landscapes, improvisational spaces, and interactive media to revitalize the community of Harambe, a Kenyan tradition meaning all pull together. Coming together to address the reality and repercussions of segregation can empower us as a community and become a model for lowering contrast in Milwaukee. Tween is already connecting local resources within Harambe and River West to integrate two neighborhoods through process rather than product. With the incredible contribution from Art Place America, the Creational Trail at the ARTery aspires to demonstrate that art can bridge the socioeconomic divide across the invisible barrier of Holton and along the physical barricade of this old industrial corridor beyond me by embracing culture and congruency and establishing connectivity to ultimately rebuild this community. Thank you all for being here.
Yeah, did you notice his tie's made from an old tire? That's great. Actually, it's my pleasure also to introduce Daryl Johnson, who is with Riverworks, and I described Riverworks earlier to Jeremy as a 20-year overnight success story. It's probably even older than that, but 21. But you can see their handcraft in all the anchors that are in the community. They've done a great job, and I call it handcrafting because every deal's hard and every deal's different. But they've done a great job over the years of knitting it together for this community, and they're a really critical partner as we move forward with this project. So, Daryl?
Thank you, Julie. Welcome to the Riverworks Center. This was an area about in the 1980s. American Motors had a plant here that employed over 3,000, probably up to 5,000 individuals from the community and from the city of Milwaukee. And when they closed the plant, there was about 33 acres of land that was just barren. Railway was an area that was used by many other manufacturing companies in the area to move commerce throughout this community. And for us, this is an exciting time to take this old abandoned area and turn it into life. As a longtime resident of this community that used to walk this railway as a kid, we used to swim during the day up at Gordon Park. Then at night, we used to walk the trail all the way down to Lincoln Park to swim at night. So I'm very familiar with this area and the blight. So I'm just, with this opportunity, with these resources, working with the City of Milwaukee, Greater Milwaukee Committee, and the residents and the business of this community, check back with us in the years to come and see the beauty and the life within this community. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Daryl. And I think we'd be remiss too if we didn't call out Brian Monroe, who actually was the property owner that held this property for many years while we tried to put the creational trails together. And I know Riverworks, he's on Riverworks board, has been an important investor in this community. Our last speaker today is Jeremy Foggett, who is the president of Art Milwaukee and will be actually managing the West Wisconsin Avenue component. And Art Milwaukee has done a great activation at Grand Avenue Mall and other spaces in our community, and we're excited to work with them.
Well, thank you. I have to say this is the first or second time I've wore a tie actually in my life. The first was my high school graduation, so there you go. So Art Milwaukee is really to enrich, empower, and inspire the community through art programs, events, activation, networks, building upon activating people and growing the next leaders. A lot of times what we do is we go around the city, we drive, we bike, we walk, and we ask what if? You know, what if there's an old rail corridor? What if West Wisconsin could be more engaging to tourism? What if it could? What can we do to change the city? And instead of sitting around and thinking about it a lot, after we think about that, what if we actually go out and do it? Over the last 8 months, Art Milwaukee, with all of its strategic partners like the GMC and other organizations, have brought over $400,000 now with the Art Place product to local Milwaukee artists. And that's a big step. We look at funding the arts as a personal value, not as a return on investment, but a return on community. And that we feel very strongly that in order to compete in major cities and bring people in that say they want to work, live, and play here, that we have to be able to brand, not a brand based on a logo, not a brand based on a product or a service, but a brand based on an experience to our residents that and our guests, that everyone creates a memory from their experience. And when you create a memory, that translates into a story. And when you take a story and you start telling people, people come, they work, they live, they play. And that's what we're up against. Over the last 8 months, we've been competing against cities with San Francisco, cities like Austin, Seattle, the places where people say they want to go. And I know we'll travel to a city, we probably came back and said, I want to move there. Well, that's what my vision is for Milwaukee. Tourism is a big thing, and I'll be working a lot on the West Wisconsin project. We have a lot of people that come out of hotels, and we have to have something that's going to engage them. And I think the projects that we're looking to do is going to be engaging, so where they're going to talk about it, they're going to come there as a destination, and they're going to come back to Milwaukee saying, oh, I want to move there. And that's really what we're trying to do. So, again, Art Milwaukee is, over the last 2.5 years, has grown from 0 to 40,000 subscribers. We plan on growing the city and building a brand for Milwaukee based on experience, and we couldn't do it better without everybody here, and thanks for everybody's contribution. And we're moving forward on this project. We're going to empower the creative minds, and we're going to tap into all the community architects, and we're going to build this city from the ground up.
Well, thank you, Jeremy. And I also want to thank, we have a lot of people in the crowd here who are key partners, and Ruben Harpel came out today. I see Leo Reese from LISC, J. Allen Stokes from the Intercity Economic Development Corp. It's going to take everybody on the ground to make this happen. We really, really appreciate it. We've got Creative Alliance here today. We've got a lot of key players, and we're really excited about that. I want to take a few minutes for question and answer, and we won't keep everybody roasting up here much longer. I mean, one a day, huh? This is a great omen for the project. Any questions? Yes. We're going to have an informational session on July 15th. It'll be our first public event, and we'll be getting public input at that point and kind of laying out the timeline for the project. So this may be really quick. So, well, again, we want to be sure that invite everybody to our public event on July 15th. Speaking on behalf of the GMC and our partner groups that are represented here in the crowd and up on the stage with me today, we look forward to taking on this challenging, substantive, and transformative initiative, and we'll see you on the bike trail. Thanks. Bye-bye.